The Bisiolachilo Show, BOS, the flagship television program on news, sports, people, places, politics, lifestyle and entertainment, showing weekly on AIT, NT and Ben TV London, is online, full blast, 24 hours daily. The Bisiolachilo Show BOS is now at your fingertips, live on all mobile phone devices, iPad, iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, laptops and tablets. Visit BOS website and our YouTube portal on www.bisconworld.org 24 hours daily for latest news, sports, people, places, politics, lifestyle and entertainment stories. BOS International Magazine is now available online. On BOS website www.bisconworld.org, products and services move in a double quick time. Advertisers should take note of this. BOS on air, online and in print.
The Dangote Group is one of the most diversified business conglomerates in Africa, reputed for creating essentials of life like cement, salt, sugar, with substantial interest in oil and gas, agriculture, real estate, and infrastructure. The Dangote Group also has a strong presence in steel, fertilizer, petroleum refining, and the telecommunications sector. The growth strategy projections of Dangote Group will take its current capitalization to about $24 billion by 2020, a feat that would put it in the Fortune 100 company category. New projects in the pipeline for Dangote Group include a fertilizer plant, a crude oil refinery with a crude capacity of 650,000 barrels per day, and the construction of a petrochemical complex. All of these enterprises have been strategically structured to provide jobs to hundreds of thousands of people, both Nigerians and non-Nigerians alike, making Dangote Group the largest employer of labor outside the federal government. The Dangote Group is substantially involved in corporate social responsibility activities through the Dangote Foundation, which has been intervening over the years in health, education and empowerment, as well as humanitarian aid to victims of natural disasters, in the bid to complement the efforts of the government in making life more bearable for the ordinary people. Today, the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, GCON, is rated as one of the most strategic entrepreneurs in Africa, with multi-billion naira investments in African countries. He is a champion of regional integration and a more united Africa. Alhaji Aliko Dangote's groundbreaking strides have resulted in his steady presence on the list of world's most influential and powerful persons. The category of people in this highly respected class are President Barack Obama, US presidential hopeful Donald Trump, Pope Francis, world-renowned financiers and entrepreneurs. The Dangote Group is in the news again. This time, it has entered into a strategic partnership with a leading construction company from Brazil, South America to be precise, André Guterres. The André Guterres Group is one of the largest infrastructural conglomerates in Latin America, with presence in over 40 countries and over 200,000 employees. This partnership, which has led to the establishment of AG Dangote Construction Limited, is to enable the Dangote Group play a significant role in the area of infrastructural development and indeed take it to a globally competitive level. Expertise and the capacity of the AG Dangote Construction Company Limited in the area of infrastructural development, which resulted in the successful construction of the 26-kilometer Itori-Ibeshe Concrete Road, Ogun State, brought together important dignitaries from all sectors of life to Itori in Ogun State on Friday, 3rd of June 2016, which is the longest road in Nigeria, constructed with concrete cement, was officially commissioned. The dignitaries include the host governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, former governor of Lagos State and Minister of Works, Power and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, former governors of Ogun and Ekiti states, Chief Olusegun Oshoba and Otumba Niyi Adebayo, and Mr. Femi Otedola. The traditional rulers in attendance include Oba Kehinde Olugbenle, Oba of Itori Land, Oba Akamo, and a host of other monarchs from Ogun State. The chief host, the president of Dangote Industries, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, was supported by a huge number of board members and directors of the many companies under the ever-expanding Dangote conglomerate. The ambassadors of Portugal and Brazil led the members of the diplomatic community at the event, which also had other friends and business partners of the Dangote Group from across the country. The program, which was most professionally handled by Gbenga Adeyinka I in a business-like manner, began with the welcome address of the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, the wealthiest black man in the universe. Alhaji Aliko Dangote said, "The decision of the Dangote Group to introduce construction of concrete roads in Nigeria is to tap into the vogue in other climes of the world." He went ahead to reel out the numerous advantages derivable from construction of roads with concrete as against asphalt. These include a lifespan that will last for over 50 years. Alhaji Aliko Dangote said, "One of the major infrastructural challenges that Nigeria is facing is lack of good quality road and poor maintenance culture, which makes travelers spend more time than necessary on the road."
You'll all agree with me that one of the major infrastructural changes that we face in Nigeria today is lack of good quality roads. Indeed, most of our highways today are in a very deplorable condition due to the lack of proper maintenance. Roads play an important role in the social and economic development of any nation. The Nigerian cement industry, as our contribution to finding a cost-effective and lasting solution to this problem, has been advocating construction of concrete roads as a more viable alternative to asphalt roads. That is why we at Dangote Industries are venturing into construction on a joint venture with AG Dangote Limited.
Alhaji Aliko Dangote said roads play a vital role in the social and economic development of any nation and advocated a review of the existing methods of constructing roads in Nigeria. Alhaji Aliko Dangote said, as a major player, globally acknowledged in the cement industry, he was concerned about finding a lasting solution to this problem, and that informed his decision to embark on the construction of concrete roads with cement as a viable option to asphalted roads with bitumen products.
Today's ceremony is just the beginning for us, as we will soon embark on the building of more concrete roads in other states of the Federation. His Excellency, the Ogun State Governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, CON, his cabinet, and our host communities who have actually made this project a reality through their unflinching support of our organization.
Alhaji Aliko Dangote said that the idea of the Itori-Ibeshe concrete road project was conceived in 2014 to ease the movement of heavy trucks from the Ibeshe plant to other parts of the country. According to him, the first phase of the Ibeshe road project was a 14-kilometer Ibeshe-Ilaro concrete road constructed in 2012. Already, Dangote Group is waiting for the approval of the Federal Ministry of Works to begin the construction of other roads like the Shagamu Road in Ogun State, the road on the Jora-Apapa Wharf axis in Lagos State, and the Obajana-Kaba Road in Kogi State, which will link Kogi and Ekiti states.
Permit me to give a brief historical perspective of our Itori-Ibeshe concrete road project. This project was conceived in 2014 as part of our efforts to ease movement of our heavy trucks from our Ibeshe cement plant to other parts of the country. We realized that the existing narrow roads were built in the 70s, had virtually all collapsed and needed to be reconstructed to accommodate our trucks and other road users. The first phase of our road construction in Ibeshe was a 14-kilometer Ibeshe-Ilaro concrete road which we built in 2012. This 26 Itori-Igbeche kilometer road that we are commissioning today is the second phase of the program, and we have already applied to the Federal Ministry of Works, that is the federal government, for approval to construct the Papalanto-Shagamu road in the third phase.
Among the benefits of concrete roads using cement byproducts include the fact that it is cheaper than the conventional road. It lasts longer than the conventional road. It doesn't have potholes and saves fuel. On top of all these is the fact that cement and the resources needed for the construction of the concrete roads are locally available compared to bitumen or petroleum-based products, which requires importation and the spending of scarce foreign exchange. In the remarks of the managing director of AG Dangote, Mr. Hasif Juma, he reeled out names of major projects executed by André Guterres Group from Brazil, with which Dangote Group has entered into a strategic partnership in the area of globally competitive, cutting-edge infrastructural development in Nigeria, to include the Maracana Stadium, Brazil, which was until recently the largest stadium in the world, among others. He said that the 26-kilometer Itori-Igbeche concrete road, which took 8 months to complete, was executed with 95% local content workforce and 5% expatriates. Mr. Hasif Juma emphasized that with the human resource and technology in place, Nigerians alone can successfully construct roads. He said the prevailing trend all over the world in road construction is to use the concrete method. For instance, he said 60% of the combined roads in USA and Austria are concrete roads, while Germany and Canada have 30% each, and South Africa 10%.
It might interest you to know that the idea of making concrete roads popular in Nigeria was mooted by the Dangote Group. Concrete roads today are less expensive, easy to maintain, and last longer than asphalt roads. Due to these benefits, we believe the future of roads in Nigeria is concrete. This is a trend all over the world today. The road has pavement layers and compacted laterite file with 115 millimeters thick, crushed stone subbase, and 200 millimeters thick concrete pavement. The pavement type is joint plain concrete pavement with tie bars spaced at 300 millimeters. With the help of the slip-form paver machine, we were able to achieve 850 meters for road length a day, but with the capacity to achieve 1 kilometer of a day. This we hope to achieve in our Obajana road project. Finally, I cannot conclude my remarks without thanking the communities from Itori to Igbeche in Ogun State for the excellent support and cooperation they gave to our team. It is my hope that Nigeria will fully embrace concrete roads with all the benefits to be derived. Thank you. God bless you.
In his own intervention, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, Minister of Works, Power and Housing, also attested to the fact that concrete roads give a longer lifespan of utility and reduces the need for bituminous maintenance. He commended the partnership between Dangote Group and Brazil. Mr. Fashola said that infrastructural renewal and development is the bedrock of the Buhari government's change agenda, which was why the federal government is committing 30% of its income and profit to capital development from a national budget that for the very first time has hit 6 trillion naira. While congratulating the Dangote Group for the great stride in contributing to Nigeria's infrastructural development.
Let me also say with every emphasis that I can muster that one of the key policy thrusts of the President Buhari administration is infrastructural renewal and development. And that is why you will see that even if our revenues have dropped from oil from a little over $100 per barrel to now about $49.50 and still unstable. The government has budgeted more at a time when it is getting less from oil. This is the first time the national budget has hit 6 trillion. But it is not only the size of the budget, it is also the disaggregation of the component parts of the budget. This is the first time in a long time that a federal government in Nigeria will be committing 30% of its income and budget to capital expenditure. Some people have ascribed our statement of facts to complaints. They are not complaints. We are setting the base mark from where we will take off.
Mr. Babatunde Fashola enjoined other Nigerians in other sectors of life to rise and help put Nigeria back on steady course of development. The governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, also commended the private sector participation in the development of public infrastructure in Nigeria, which is the success story of the commissioning of the 26-kilometer Itori-Ibeshi concrete road constructed in Nigeria by AG Dangote Construction Company Limited. Governor Ibikunle Amosun thanked Alhaji Aliko Dangote for coming to the assistance of the people of Itori-Ibeshi and environs, while also reminding him to extend his largesse in infrastructural development using the concrete road technology to other parts of Ogun State.
Dangote Group of Companies, through the road we are commissioning today, has reciprocated the good gesture of the state government by instituting and pursuing an effective corporate social responsibility program which will positively impacted the host community and the state. The quality of the Ibeshi-Itori concrete road that we are commissioning today is exceptional and should be emulated by road construction companies in Nigeria. This will perhaps explain why the Dangote Group of companies have continued to expand their operations in our state. At the commissioning of the Dangote cement factory in Ibeshi in February 2012, I used the medium to specifically urge Dangote Group of companies to consider making major interventions on adjoining roads leading to the plant. I'm pleased that Alhaji Aliko Dangote took note of my comments, resulting in our being here today. Let me therefore thank Alhaji Aliko Dangote, the management of Dangote Group of Companies, indeed, and the entire staff, and those who have participated in one way or the other in making today a reality.
The 26-kilometer Itori-Ibeshi concrete road, constructed by AG Dangote Construction Company Limited, a subsidiary of Dangote Industries Limited, was then commissioned. Alhaji Aliko Dangote, GCON, led other dignitaries like Governor Ibikunle Amosun, Works Minister Mr. Babatunde Fashola, and others to flag off the road.
Everybody for humanity, because people that are not even Nigerians will use this road. We will not have accidents on this road. This road will bring development, not just to this area alone, to the company that has done this wonderful thing for us. So I want to commission this road today.
Dangote Group welcomes the people of Itori-Ibeshi and environs in Ogun State to a pleasurable driving time propelled by cutting-edge technology using cement to build long-lasting and durable concrete roads.
The 14th undergraduate and 5th postgraduate convocation ceremony of Babcock University, Ilishan-Remo in Ogun State of Nigeria has been held. As at the last count, Babcock University has turned out more than 15,000 graduates in various disciplines who are adding useful values to different spheres of life in the society today. As if to key into the mantra of Babcock University, Ilishan-Remo, which is to reassure many who have lost faith in Nigeria's educational system that there's a ray of sunshine beneath the dark cloud, more and more people are enrolling their children and wards at Babcock University, the acclaimed global education arena where education is benchmarked on outstanding real-world learning experience that is current, relevant, and research-informed. Today, unarguably, Babcock University, Ilishan Remo, is one of the best-run private universities in Nigeria, with a string of awards to justify that enviable position. Prominent dignitaries that graced Babcock University convocation ceremony this year included Dr. Okezie Victor Bazo, the governor of Abia State, who was a special guest of honor. Ogun State Governor Senator Bikule Amosu, who was represented by the Commissioner for Education, the President, Nigerian Stock Exchange, Mr. Aiboje Ike Imokwede. The traditional institution was led by His Royal Majesty Oba Michael Shonariwo, the Caribou of Reboland in Ogun State, who was supported by a host of other monarchs from Ogun State, with His Royal Highness Oba Dokun Abolari, the Orogun Okela in Osun State, lending a royal support. As a faith-based institution of the Seventh-day Adventist denomination, the visitor of Babcock University, Pastor Ted Wilson, and President General Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church was represented at the ceremony. Pastor Dr. Eli Weldido, Chancellor President, West Central Division of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the Pro-Chancellor, President Eastern Nigeria of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, were joined by President Vice Chancellor of Babcock University and other principal officers of the institution. Professor Julius Okoje, Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, was represented at the ceremony. Vice Chancellors from sister universities were there in their legion to show solidarity with Babcock University, as is the practice at such occasion. The 14th undergraduate and 5th postgraduate convocation ceremony for the award of degrees and prizes of Babcock University Ilishan Remo was held at the University Stadium grounds on Sunday, 5th June 2016. The event formally began with the graduates procession, followed by the congregation procession, council procession, and this finally dovetailed into the Chancellor's procession that took the rear. The national anthem and Babcock University anthems were taken in quick turns before the opening prayer delivered by Dr. Basi Udo, Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council of the institution. The mission statement of Babcock University concentrates largely on the following areas: building leadership through Christian education, transforming lives, impacting society for positive changes. Its vision statement is to see that Babcock University becomes a first-class Seventh-day Adventist institution, building servant leaders for a better world. The core values of Babcock University include excellence, integrity, accountability, servant leadership, team spirit, autonomy, responsibility, and the Adventist heritage. The students graduating in various disciplines in the current academic session, 1,600 of them altogether, who look forward eagerly to that auspicious moment just hours away, when their efforts will be crowned with the most deserved reward for hard work, have all imbibed holistic education built on sound knowledge, truth, and service. This they'll in turn begin to impart in society as they begin a life of service to humanity. The convocation was formally declared open by the Chancellor and Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Babcock University. In the address of the President Vice Chancellor of Babcock University, Professor Ademola Tayo, he began by thanking the stakeholders who have helped to put Babcock University in its uniquely placed position in contributing to the success of Nigeria. He said the difference Babcock University has distinctly made today in the global education arena is an aggregation of innovative, creative, engaging, and enterprising efforts of the parents, staff, both academic and non-academic, and other stakeholders like the alumni members. Professor Ademola Tayo, President Vice Chancellor of Babcock University, stated that the National Universities Commission (NUC) has given full accreditation to 13 of the 20 academic programs of the institution, while 6 got interim accreditation. The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria has also accredited Babcock University Teaching Hospital for the training of house officers. while the West African College of Surgeons has given Babcock University 2 years interim accreditation. The Medical Laboratory Science Council of Nigeria has given Babcock University 5-year accreditation for the training of medical laboratory science undergraduates. Professor Ademola Tayo then went ahead to inform the gathering about other groundbreaking strikes of Babcock University, which has made it a citadel of higher learning of first choice among the 70 minds around the world today.
It's my pleasure this morning to warmly welcome you to another epoch-making event in the journey of Babcock University, the 14th undergraduate and the 5th postgraduate convocation ceremonies, whereby today 1,616 undergraduate students will graduate and about 220 postgraduate students will receive their diploma. It is another defining moment for us as an institution, a moment to rejoice and reflect about the times we are in and how far we have come as parents and wards and teachers. As an institution, we provide a strong collective identity and voice, a voice embracing change and working in partnership with others to make a difference. Birmingham University. 12 students from Babcock University, as I'm talking this morning, are already in Birmingham University in UK as part of our collaborative efforts to ensure that our students of international law and diplomacy, on completion of their 4-year program here, can proceed for a 2-year law program in that university. Tennessee University and Mississippi University, United States of America. Babcock University has also had academic collaboration with Tennessee University UK and Mississippi State University in the US. I wish to say this morning that as I'm talking to you, another set of our computer students have just left the university to the University of Computer Science and Applied Sciences in Poland as part of our exchange program. Winning Group IVIT. This collaboration will ensure a total classroom and campus digital revolution. It is a learning platform that digitizes or integrates all instructional activities done on the chalkboard, while students are provided with tablets, lecturers with laptops that enable them access digital content and participate actively in class. It is a total package that comes with 24/7 internet, SIM card, data, antivirus, and all the learning locations like classrooms, which will be fitted with projectors backed up with inverters. By God's grace, this will be commissioned as the school reopens the next school year. This is part of the administration's commitment to ensure that learning and means of instruction are made as engaging and fascinating as possible through the evolving technology.
There's also an address from the National Universities Commission, which was delivered by the representative of Professor Julius Okoje, the Executive Secretary of the Commission. In it, Babcock University was commended for the continued improvement in its rising standard. Governor Ibikunle Emeosun of Ogun State, who was represented by the Commissioner for Education, also rejoiced with Babcock University for another convocation and the impressive strides it has continued to make in the development of manpower, which is a very vital element in nation building. Ogun State Governor promised to collaborate and partner with the institution in relevant areas to move forward learning and research. The highlight of the Babcock University convocation ceremony was the commencement address, which was delivered by Mr. Aigboje Ike Mokwede, President, Nigerian Stock Exchange. Mr. Aigboje Ike Mokwede, a 1986 law graduate from the University of Benin in Edo State of Nigeria, spoke from the hindsight of 30 years graduation experience. He advised the graduates to take full control and seize any opportunity that presents itself before them squarely to make the best use of it. Mr. Aigboje Ike Mokwede, who is a key figure in banking and the capital market sectors of Nigeria's economy, gave the new graduates of the Babcock University useful tips to help them make distinct marks in the area of endeavor in which they might find themselves going forward.
30 years ago, I stood on the grounds of the University of Benin as you sit on the grounds of Babcock this morning and reflected on my 4 years as a university undergraduate. I had great memories, but my memories were clouded by the absence of anything I could hold on to, any singular achievement with lasting impact, which I could attribute to myself over my 4 years as an undergraduate. I left with my certificate, but also with a sense of regret that I had failed to live up to my full potential. The next year spent at the Nigerian Law School allowed me come to terms with what I wanted to do, and I determined that never again would I find myself looking back at missed opportunities of unfulfilled expectations. I vowed to live every day driven by the Latin phrase carpe diem, which in English means seize the day. Immediately after law school, I joined Continental Merchant Bank as a youth corper. I soon discovered that I enjoyed banking far more than legal practice, and I decided that at the right time, I would make a move to core banking, a decision which I have never regretted. I approached my responsibilities with a solutions mindset, always seeking ways to enable bankers serve their customers better. And very quickly, I built a reputation as a lawyer to whom you went to if you wanted good counsel. Every day of work at Continental was an opportunity for me to make an impact. Before I knew it, I began to be consulted by very, very senior bankers, both within Continental and in other banks. I gave advice freely, taking full advantage of the opportunity to build high-level contacts within the industry. Some of these senior bankers must have noticed something promising about me, because within a year of joining Continental, as a youth corper, I was recruited to join a high-profile team of bankers to set up the new Prime Merchant Bank. Indeed, by 1990, remember, I joined Continental in 1988. Almost 100 of these new banks had come into existence, bringing the total number of banks in Nigeria to over 120 at the time. Amongst the new banks were some who had already begun to show early promise, notably IBTC, founded by Tedo Pitside, FCMB, which came a bit earlier, founded by Otuba Shobumi Balogun, Zenith Bank, founded by Jimovia, and of particular note, Guarantee Trust Bank, GTB, which was co-founded by Fola Adiola and Tayo Aderinoko. I joined GTB in 1991. GTB quickly grew to become one of the most respected and service-focused banks in Nigeria. I spent 10 years at GTB working closely with and learning from Fola and Tayo. And once again, every day I worked at GTB was an opportunity to make a difference. You will recall that your Vice Chancellor used the phrase, make a difference. Make a difference. By virtue of my contributions, by virtue of every day striving to seize the day, I established myself as part of the team that built that bank into one of the best banks of the country. A bank renowned for ethical values, good governance, as well as commercial success. It was a wonderful place for me to prepare myself for the next step I would take in my career, owning my own bank. My time in GTB also allowed me develop a great personal and professional relationship with Herbert Wigwe, a chartered accountant, a great banker who had followed a similar career path as mine, and with whom I chose to embark on the entrepreneurial phase of my career.
In the remarks of the special guest of honor and governor of Abia State, Dr. Okezie Victor Bazo, a world-renowned scientist and a devout member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, He also congratulated all the graduates whom he advised on how to make a success of their new status in life, which puts a lot of responsibilities on their shoulders. He advised the students to stay clear of bad company. Dr. Okeze Bazo commended the authorities of the institution for their efforts in keeping the standard of teaching and learning very high.
It is a worthy thing and wise thing for every human being to ponder once in a while, to look for signs and times. Today, where are we? Every graduate that is leaving this arena today should seize a few minutes to ask, where am I in time and history? That is why I captioned my speech today, our egos in times like this, or our egos in difficult times. There are so many things in our environment that call to question. The first one is, has our law of wax cold in Nigeria? Are men running to and fro? Are the mountains melting? Are the seas angry? The answers to these questions is yes. And as Christians and people that have gone through the Adventist education, you will understand that the end of times is upon us. As people in the world, we may try to seek answers to these questions. But today, as graduates of this school, you are called onto two things. First, to show the world that you have gone through the best institution there is in Nigeria. You have been taught by the best faculty and best lecturers the world over. But the second, and perhaps the most important, is that you carry a mantle of ministry upon you. And that is where the solution to the world lies. It is upon you at this hour to point to the world the way of Christ, because therein lies the solution. Every other effort we make without looking first upon God may come to naught. I want to say this because Nigeria is looking for solutions in trying to solve the problem between herdsmen and farmers, between Boko Haram that has ravaged the Northeast, between the Avengers that are angry in the creeks of the Niger Delta. We must, at this hour, ponder at what time in history we are and look heavenwards for solution. And the apostles of this new order, I believe, are the graduates of Babcock University. No other people are more equipped to send this message across the length and breadth of this country than those that have acquired the Adventist education and upon it, the best education that one can get in terms of ABCD.
Then came the most anticipated moment when degrees, awards, and prizes were presented to successful students. In the undergraduates category, first degrees were presented to students in the School of Computing and School of Engineering Science, Basic and Applied Sciences, School of Law and Security Studies, School of Management Sciences, School of Nursing Sciences, School of Public and Applied Health, School of Social Sciences, as well as School of Education and Humanities. Among the graduates in the School of Education and Humanities is Maria Adeola Olatilo, the fourth child of the chairman of Bos Communications, Prince Bisi Olatilo. Maria Adeola Olatilo, who read History and International Studies at Babcock University, graduated in the second-class lower division. There were postgraduate degrees in the School of Agriculture and Industrial Technology, Banking and Business School, and so on. Celebrated actor Alex Osifo was one of those who bagged a doctorate degree at the Convocation of Babcock University. Master's degree of Babcock University were also issued in areas such as Industrial Technology, Babcock Business School, and so on. Benjamin Goodluck, the president of the Stallion class, and celebrated actor Dr. Alex Osifo, president of the postgraduate graduating class, addressed the convocation before Babcock University Alumni Association challenge was delivered by
a few years back when we were anxiously applying for admission into the postgraduate school. Most of us perhaps did not envision it would be such an arduous venture. We know better now that in Babcock University, getting a PhD or master's degree is certainly a long haul. At a point, the goal was beginning to look rather inane and unobtainable. In fact, if we were to precisely reconstruct the exact obstacle course we scaled through in terms of time, money, physical and mental strength expended, it might take eternity. However, three core values make Babcock University what it is: academic excellence, discipline, and the fear of God. You will agree with me that a man who has these three is certainly made of stern stuff and can stand and walk tall anywhere in the world. So, fellow royals, let us go forth and shine. We are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do men light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, we should let our light shine before men, that they may see our good deeds and praise our Father that is in heaven. Thank you very much.
Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education." On this note, I will therefore humbly admonish us to carry on our legacy anywhere we find ourselves, exhibiting the values which have been inculcated in us through holistic education, the best instrument to change the world. Also bear in mind that you are an ambassador of greatness, and never be afraid to show your proficiency in positive areas where your talents lie. Richard Mitchell in September 1982 wrote in the Underground Grammarian saying, "There is only one education and it has only one goal, the freedom of the mind."
The convocation ended with a vote of thanks by Professor Sunday Wolabi, the Vice President and Vice Chancellor of Management Services at Babcock University. Once again, it's hearty congratulations to all the graduates of Babcock University, particularly Maria Adeola Olatilo, the daughter of the Chairman Chief Executive Officer, Bos Communications, Prince B.C. Olatilo. While we give thanks to the Almighty for bringing this day to reality, the mother of the new graduate, Mrs. Folashade Olatilo, deserves to be praised for the great sacrifice she had made, almost relocating to Babcock University in Ilishan-Remo, Ogun State, to see that the mission is accomplished. In the meantime, apart from a degree in History and International Studies in the Kitty, Maria Adeola Olatilo is endowed with incredible creative abilities that will make her an employer of labor. Maria Adeola Olatilo is that makeover artist, bead maker and cosmetologist par excellence, waiting to burst into Nigeria's entertainment industry. Don't forget that the Olatilo family already has the Millennium fashion designer who graduated from the University of Lagos about 8 years ago. The baby of the house will join the ranks of UK-trained civil engineers this year. It is safe to say that we on our parts have fulfilled all righteousness in setting all our children on the right path to becoming high-achieving entrepreneurs in their different areas of coding in life. They should do well to consolidate on this solid background. I'm sure I'm speaking the minds of all parents with this submission. See you all next year at the 2017 convocation of Babcock University Elisha Remo, Ogun State. It was an atmosphere of joy and excitement for the Olowo Dollars and the Bello families as the event marking the traditional engagement ceremony of their children, Engineer Oluwatosin Olakunle Olowo Dollar, the son of Reverend and Reverend Mrs. Babajide Olowo Dollar, and Princess Ruki Olasumba Bello was held. The union, which started about 4 years ago, got a notch as the couple took a more concrete step to settle as husband and wife. The event, which was anchored by some traditional mistresses of ceremonies, featured the entry of the bride's parents, who had to gain entry by first crossing the toll gate mounted by one of the mistresses of ceremonies, after which the parents of the groom gained an unrestricted access to the hall. There was singing and dancing. The bride's father, Mr. Jim Bello, is a pharmacist, while her mother, Mrs. Nike Bello, is a retired hospital matron. The bride, Ruki Bello, who is from Ilesha in Osun State of Nigeria, is based in Kano. She's a graduate of political science and second child of her parents. She attended Federal Government Girls College, Bakori, in Kano State, and the University of Maiduguri for her university education in Borno State. The bride, Princess Ruki Bello, currently works with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture in Abuja. As for the groom, Engineer Oluwatosin Olakunle Olowo Dollar, he attended Command Day Secondary School, Ojo, Lagos. The groom attended Babcock University, Elisha Remo in Ogun State, where he graduated with a degree in History and International Relations in 2005. The groom is an Abuja-based businessman. Now for the groom's father, Reverend Babajide Adelano Olowo Dollar. He was born in Ilorin, Kwara State in 1954. He is an alumnus of the University of Ibadan. He is now into full-time ministry. The groom's mother, Pastor Mrs. Olushola Comfort Olowo Dollar, was born in Kano. She's a native of Abeokuta in Ogun State. She had her primary school education in Kano. She attended Kwara State College of Technology in 1973 and Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, where she graduated in 1997. She's a retired school teacher, now in full-time ministry. The traditional engagement ceremony between Engineer Oluwatosin Olakunle Olowo Dollar, the son of Reverend and Reverend Mrs. Babajide Olowo Dollar, and Princess Ruki Olasumba Bello, began with the opening prayer, which was led by a clergyman, and this marked the commencement of the event. The letter of intent was presented to the bride's parents through the groom's sister, and in response, a letter of acceptance was given to the groom's parents and family members, which was gladly accepted with unreserved joy. It was an overwhelming moment of ecstasy and joy when the very handsome groom, in company of his siblings, family members, friends, and well-wishers, stormed the venue with a lot of vigor, dancing with vigor as he made a classy entry into the hall to pay homage to the bride's parents and his own parents too. They showered prayers on him. In a grand style came the beautiful bride, who adorned a most fitting traditional outfit, in company of her very pretty friends, siblings, and family members. She danced in joyfully, and as tradition demands, she went forth to her parents and her husband's parents to render the deserved greetings and homage, and this is followed by prayers for her for a successful journey. She demonstrated before everyone the respect she has for the crown of her head by wearing the cap of her husband in the right way. The groom's father, Reverend Babajide Olowo Dollar, was not left out as they appreciated the bride's parents for the acceptance while he assured them that their daughter would be well taken care of. They also prayed for the family. The solemnization of the holy matrimony between Oluwatosin Olakunle Olowo Dollar and Princess Ruki Olasumba Bello was the church service and this saw the joining and declaration of the couple. As customary, the father of the bride led her into the church auditorium as a step to the altar, where he handed his daughter over to the officiating minister, and this marked the commencement of the wedding. The couple soon took their marital vows and exchanged rings. All of this was done in a very joyful atmosphere, and the proceedings were conducted by the officiating ministers, who finally pronounced them husband and wife.
From this day forth, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Let the whole congregation say, God in His Holy Scriptures, and as an ordained minister of the Lord, I, Reverend Dr. Wilson Banjo, former General Overseer of the First Pentecostal Church in Nigeria, pronounce that they, the husband and wife, together, in the name of God the Father.
In a well-delivered sermon by the officiating minister, whose sermon was centered around the ideal and actual purpose of marriage, he admonished the couple to know and understand the purpose of marriage and act within that purpose as an institution established by God for the good of man. He said that one is not married just for the sake of it, but for the sake of fulfilling God's plans for his or her life and companionship. This is a fundamental factor in marriage, he explained.
There is a goal in the mind of God for marriage. And can I say very quickly that Christians don't get married for themselves. They get married for the purpose of God. It's like an engineer who goes to study in the university. He does not go to study engineering for himself, but he goes to study that course, that when he graduates, it will be a blessing to society. So that the primary reason for going to study a course in university is not to make money. The primary reason to get into business is not to make money, but is to make impact, to change society, and to be a blessing to the world. And so it is when you get married. You're not getting married for yourself. You're getting married to fulfill God's purpose, God's plan, God's calling, and God's desire. That the word of God says, one will chase 1,000, and two will chase 10,000. It's as if before you got married, you were operating below capacity. But now when you are married, you have come up to optimum capacity.
As expected, the couple, along with their parents, the officiating ministers, the chief bridesmaid and best man, signed the marriage register. The couple were then presented with their marriage certificate, which is an attestation to their joining in holy matrimony. The communion was also administered on them, which was followed by a photo session, the signal of the end of the church proceedings. To round off the marital events between Oluwatosin Olakunle Olowodola, the son of Reverend and Reverend Mrs. Babajide Olowodola, and Princess Ruki Olasumbo Bello, the reception was the next thing, going by the beautification and decoration to the hilt given to the expansive hall of the Disney Dome. The hall was filled to the brim with delight as the parents of the groom danced into the hall while the band played some melodious songs. The very bright-looking couple got the crowd screaming as they danced into the hall, prepared to give their guests a run for their money regardless. In the address of the chairman of the occasion, he drew the attention of the couple to the importance and efficacy of the marriage vow they had just taken on that very special day. He urged them to show absolute commitment to their marriage vows, even in the face of daunting challenges.
So Tosin and Ruki, I challenge you that the first thing you should do is when you go on your honeymoon or after the honeymoon, sit down together and read through the marriage vows, because it's very, very important. It is only when you read it and understand it that you know what you are aiming for. The second thing I want to remind you, I said I don't want anybody to talk to them when I'm talking to them. I'm a teacher. The second thing I want the two of you to do is to get the tape of the pastor's sermon. Indeed, if you listen to what the pastor said, the chairman doesn't have to say anything. It was loaded. And I think it's a tape that you should listen to over and over again.
The chairman conducted the cake-cutting exercise, but the couple executed it in their own way with a romantic gesture to garnish it.
My own is louder than yours. We as you as and what is that?
Senator Domingo Bende, from his 34 years wealth of experience in the marriage institution, also offered some relevant advices to the couple on how they can keep their marriage simply by being tolerant and being able to say sorry to each other when there's a need for it, especially during misunderstanding.
When you offend yourself, please don't feel too big to say I am sorry. Nobody is there. Please, 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 please. When we are done, you can come back. You understand? Nobody is there.
A dance session between Oluwatosin Olakunle Olowodola and Princess Ruki Olasumbo Bello was observed as they both danced to the rhythm of love. They had a field day on the dance floor. The spinsters were not forgotten, as they had the ample chance of catching the bouquet of flowers thrown by the couple. The wedding program between this young and very promising couple will remain memorable in the minds of all those who witnessed it. From Bos Communications, his hearty congratulations to Oluwatosin Olakunle Olowodola and Princess Ruki Bello on this very, very well-attended and organized wedding. We wish the couple a fruitful married life.